Welcome to Sober and Lit.
The podcast for women who want to get sober, stay sober, and live a life that's way more lit than it ever was with wine.
We're your hosts, Ruby and Susan, two alcohol freedom coaches keeping it real with stories, tools, and zero judgment.
Whether you're sober curious or all in, you're in the right place.
Let's feel lit alcohol free. Welcome back to the Feel Lit Alcohol Free podcast. We're so excited to have our listeners get to experience our special guest today. We have Dr. Ginny Trieweiler. And she's a psychologist and certified health coach and author of the book Slender for Good After 50, Eat More, Stress Less, and Never Diet Again. She confronted her own challenges with eating, drinking, and excess weight gain and felt it just couldn't be so hard. So turning to the research herself, she discovered something simple and powerful, 4 fundamental principles to naturally reset the body to a slender, healthy weight. Now, Dr. Ginny is on a mission to help others, especially women over 50, to break free from dieting, frustration, and declining metabolic health. Every day, she is helping other wise women, and some men too, make healthy eating habits easy and escape stress and worries about eating and weight. Welcome, Ginny.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be with you guys. I love your podcast.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. You and I, we've met years and years ago because we're both This Naked Mind coaches.
Right.
And we're both interested in that kind of intersection of alcohol and food. Yeah. So yeah, I'm just so excited to have you on our podcast. And let's get started with, I'd love to hear your story around like drinking, eating, and excess weight. I'm so curious.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I get emotional when I talk about it every single time. I can't talk about it without getting emotional. So I'm already starting to cry. But yeah, the first, like in my teens and 20s and 30s, I just was able to stay pretty naturally slender. So I felt like the way I was eating and drinking was fine. Like as long as I'm not gaining weight, it's all fine, right? And little by little, I was drinking more and starting to go, oh, I think this could be a problem. And my weight started going up after menopause. So in my mid 40s, my weight started going up, started developing prediabetes. The pain and inflammation I had in my system got worse and worse and worse to the point where I could barely walk anymore by my mid 50s. And I felt like I was doing the right things. Like I'm doing what I was doing. It's just not working anymore. I got to 60 pounds overweight. I had this really painful wake-up call moment when I started working as a psychologist in nursing homes, and I thought people are going to be in their 80s and 90s. I'll help them with this last stage of life. So many were in their 60s and 70s. They weren't that much older than me. And It kind of scared me straight. Like, you think you're eating and drinking okay, but you kind of know you're not. And you know you need to do something, but you don't want to change anything. And so it was like, well, that's fine, Ginny, but you already can't walk. You can't go for a hike anymore. You can't do any of the fun things. You don't want to date because you don't think you look good enough. Like, how many things are you going to put off? How indulgent do you have to be, And I really didn't know how to quit drinking. I really didn't know how to change all this. So I really went to the research myself. I just found we're not getting good advice out there. And then I found Annie Grace, and that really helped me go, okay, I can see how to quit drinking. I can see how liberating that's going to be. And it just started getting easy. I remember when I started changing all this without much guidance, I was crying a lot in the mornings, like, oh, I'm going to try, but I've tried so many times. And eventually I stopped crying. I realized, I love eating this way. I don't miss the alcohol. I'm starting to feel better and better. I can walk again. I had prediabetes and that reversed. The weight was coming off easily. I thought, maybe stop crying. Maybe start celebrating this. I wish I had written down everything I was doing so it would help my clients. But in any case, I know exactly how to help my clients because nourishing your body changes everything. When instead of focusing on how indulgent can I get away with, like figuring out how can I nourish my body so fully that it doesn't feel like it needs to store excess fat anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It's just totally different.
Totally cool. Yeah. So was there like a breakthrough moment?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was 55 years old working in nursing homes, right? And I had this scared straight moment. And I knew that I had tried Weight Watchers. I had tried this. I had tried that. I knew I had tried moderation and just don't eat too much and all those things that we're told to do. And it just wasn't getting me anywhere. If anything, I was gaining more and more weight following that advice. Moderate everything was terrible. And so, yeah, it was like, look in the mirror, Ginny. You're not going to be this person in your 80s hiking in the mountains like you think you're going to. You already can't walk. It was terrifying, really. It was like, your future looks like crap. That's the honest truth. I thought I was this youthful, healthy. I'm younger than my age. I was still in that deluded state and seeing my clients in the nursing homes saying, I need to get out of here. Can you get me out of here? Because my kids have taken my car. They're selling my house. They're taking everything I worked my whole life for. And these people are just like 10 years older than me. And I thought, that's you. It made me think I've got to find the answers to how to eat to actually be healthy and well and have a healthy weight. There's got to be a way. I'm trained as an evidence-based practices clinician, psychologist. And so I thought, when you look at evidence-based practices, there's a really clear set of principles. And you even know what dosage of following those principles people need. And I felt like I knew how to eat, but I wasn't that clear. So I decided I'm going to study the research until I'm really, really clear.
That's great. So did you quit drinking first and then work on your eating, or do both of them at the same time, or do eating first and then drinking? What was
I love that question. I did them both at the same time. And I make a strong argument for that because in the past I have tried, I'm going to quit drinking, but then I would eat more sugar. And, I'm going to quit sugar. And then I would eat more flour. And, it's like one would lead to the next. So changing my eating and drinking with just a whole different approach to it changed everything. Like, I'm going to give my body what it freaking needs. And I'm just going to do that meal after meal. And it does not need alcohol and it does not need sugar. I'm going to care about this. And if I can avoid living in the nursing homes, I'm going to. And just reversed so many conditions I had lived with. I was taking more and more medications like so many people at that age. And I really changed that whole trajectory of my life.
Yeah. So no sugar, no alcohol. And I'm curious about all the other pillars.
All the principles.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, can I tell you just the central principle is eat abundant, highly nutritious foods. So I really don't start with, here's what we want to cut out. People have a sense of, I don't think this is working well for me. I don't think the bottle of wine plus some at night is working that well. Kind of know that. I don't think the dessert at every meal is really helping me. We kind of know those things, but we're not eating enough nutritious foods. So our body doesn't have a chance to heal our metabolism. So when we just try to say no to this and no to that, we're starving. Right? Yeah. And our body says, this is not good. We're going to store excess fat. We're going to make you extra hungry. We're going to push more cortisol into your system. It just doesn't work. It does all the wrong things. You know this, right, Ruby?
Right. So what I'm hearing is your message is that you're going to eat more nutritious foods to lose weight. It seems like counterintuitive.
It doesn't once you really look at how the body works, but it does in our culture because for 100 years we've heard this calorie cutting messaging. And it makes me want to cry because I follow a Reddit thread. There's a weight loss thread on Reddit. And there's yesterday, I think it was a 15-year-old saying, I'm starving myself and all I'm doing is gaining weight. It's not the answer. It's a terrible approach to food. It's not the right approach to your body. It's kind of like trying to hate your way into happiness, hate your body and deprive yourself into weight loss. It's not the answer.
And a calorie isn't a calorie is what
For sure.
For example, a handful of almonds, you're getting the fiber and the nutrition, and it could be the same amount of calories as say a soda, but they're just your body. They
do completely different things in the body.
Calorie is not a calorie. I have to stress that a lot. It's not apples to apples, so to speak.
It's a good message.
I love that. There was a nutritionist that worked at my gym, and what he said is you want to get your body to where it's like this fat burning, fuel burning machine, like a little pot belly burner or something like that. Pot belly. I didn't mean pot belly, but like a little a little potbelly stove that's like
Right.
burning the food for fuel, and
Right,
where you
right.
get your metabolism going to where you can actually eat more because your metabolism is really firing. So
Yeah.
that was really
I
interesting.
mean, when we eat more, we can help our body burn fat so much better. After I found what actually works, then I started looking for, why does this work? Why does it work to eat so much food? So part of it is, like, my clients would tell you, I don't feel hungry. I'm losing weight without feeling hungry. That's
amazing.
a much more sustainable situation, right? If I starve my way into weight loss, my body's going to change in response. It's going to adapt and try to make me eat more, right?
Right.
But also my mind is going to be like, man, I can't wait to go back to eating again. It's just a terrible, unsustainable approach. It doesn't work for our body, and it doesn't work for our heart and our soul and our mind, right?
And our brain.
And what I hear you saying also is that it's like that diet mentality, right? So I'll do this for a shorter period of time. I'll get to my goal weight or lose weight, and then I can't wait to get back to eating normally again, which might be that desserts or whatever. Yeah.
Right.
So that's what I think about too. It's like a life, like I love the word lifestyle, right? It's just a way of eating for the rest of my life, period.
Yeah. And that means it has to be something sustainable, right? It has to be working for our body. So our body, we're not in a fight with our body. Have you guys ever felt that feeling? Like I felt like I was fighting with my body. Like, come on, body, you stupid thing. And I just really started changing my heart towards my body. I'm sorry. I don't think I've been nourishing you right. That's on me. That I'm the only one in the world who can do that. And I'm going to do better. I'm going to do it so consistently. Like, I have this rhetorical question. What % of our diet ought to be highly nutritious foods, do you think?
Well, 100.
Kind of makes sense. Do you know what the average is of how much of our diet is highly nutritious?
You mean just the average American diet?
Yes.
That person? Maybe 25%?
Yeah, right around there.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. So when researchers studied our grocery stores, 73% is highly processed, what I call non-nutritious food-like substances. So that has become most of our diet now.
So scary.
And yet, the women that I work with almost all tell me, I eat pretty healthy. We're just pretty misinformed about what healthy is, what's nutritious. Well, it's because they put healthy on heart healthy, and they put low fat, they put all these, advertising messages on the packages to tell us, I know you want this, and here's why it's okay.
Yeah. Well, let's get some examples like Cheerios.
Yeah. No. Not healthy.
Not
Right.
healthy.
It turns into
Even
sugar,
though,
right?
yeah.
It's basically your body sees it as sugar.
Yeah.
That-
But see, people would say, oh, that's a healthy. My parents didn't let us have sugar cereal. So Cheerios was
Right.
healthy. We give babies Cheerios because it helps them like pick up with their little
Right. That's good for their finger dexterity.
Yeah. So that's so interesting. So what would you
The whole
substitute?
cereal aisle, right? The whole cereal. I mean, once I realized this is not good, this is not good, this is not good.
Yeah.
Then I looked at 50 cereals. There's got to be one. There almost isn't.
Really?
There almost isn't.
Maybe
one.
oatmeal. Maybe like plain oatmeal.
Well, oatmeal is a grain. It's a whole grain. It's not one of those processed cereals. So yeah, I eat oatmeal all the time and it was really the last thing I figured out in all my studies is I actually probably need whole grain in the mix to get the best results. And then I started really understanding that in the research and going, yep, that. And then once I figured that part out, that was the last 15 pounds off.
Wow.
So with your program, do you have people have like recipes, or do you let them kind of choose what they want? Is it, more intuitive? Yeah.
There were so many words there that I wanted to react to. Okay. So what I guide people towards is there are actually really smart quantities of fruits and vegetables, real foods, proteins and fats and whole grains that when people eat that quantity, they get weight loss. When they eat more than that, they don't. When they eat less than that, they don't. It's kind of, I say it's kind of magic. It feels like kind of magic. These quantities just work. And then when people get to their goal weight, everyone has somewhat different quantities that work for them. So we start adding food, but we never violate the 4 fundamental principles. We always adhere to this principle of, I'm really trying to eat pretty much 100% nutritious foods, and I'm trying to eat them in abundance. And the thing about having the smart quantities is it's like the opposite of dieting. It's like, I need to eat enough that my body doesn't feel freaked out.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So first principle is eat abundant, nutritious foods. What's the second principle?
Yeah, I was just going to ask that question.
Oh, sorry.
So by the way, if it's okay to say, I just wrote this all up in a book, and I think you introduced it, Ruby. So it really, so that I don't have to try to rush through it in just a couple of minutes, because it's a really coherent package of principles. But the second principle is to eat meals, not snacks.
Right.
And that is just helping to make sure that we aren't spiking our insulin too many times throughout the day.
Yeah, I have heard that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I had felt like I would get dizzy a lot. I have some kind of condition where I get dizzy when I stand up. It's pretty common. But I thought it meant I need to eat. I need to eat more often. And so I was making it impossible to lose weight because I was eating too often for my insulin to really regulate. So eating meals and not snacks. And this is something everyone knew 100 years ago. We shouldn't eat snacks. But now there's this whole snack food industry telling us you can't go anywhere without, don't send your kid out for half an hour without snacks.
And a water bottle.
Yeah. I just have something to share. I tried the what is it called? The Jenny Craig diet back a couple decades ago. It worked, but here's what happened. They would have you eat a prepackaged breakfast, prepackaged snack, prepackaged lunch, prepackaged snack, prepackaged
all packaged, processed
6 times, or whatever, how many times is a day, like 6 times a day. And I immediately gained the weight back. I mean, quick.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I had a friend in Chorus did the same. She lost all this weight eating Jenny Craig. She gained it all back so fast and so hard on her body. So it's actually better to not diet at all than to diet, lose weight, gain it back, which is what happens 95% of the time.
Yeah, 95%.
Yeah. But and also training yourself to eat packaged things because they're convenient is terrible training. Your body is not getting the nutrition it needs. You're not learning how to nourish your body. It makes me really mad because it works in the sense of, quickly I lose weight. That's so exciting. And I feel so excited. And then quickly you gain it back.
And more. And that extra 20 or something.
Usually more.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what was number 3 though? We did number 1. Number 2 is eat meals, not snacks.
Number 3 comes in, it freaks people out because everyone is sitting here going, what are you going to tell me I have to give up? Right. And that really isn't where we start at all. Okay. In fact, you can decide not to give anything up and just push towards how much nutritious foods can I eat, and it will be life-changing. In my program, because people actually do want to lose significant weight, sometimes just a little, just 10 pounds, sometimes more like 100. So following the quantities really matters. And so what we're trying to do is eliminate what I call chip niffles. And that is...
Say that again?
Cravingful, highly processed, non-nutritious, food-like substances.
Do you want to know what I call them? You call them what? Say it again. Chip nickels? Wait.
Chip niffles. Yeah.
Chip niffles.
Niffles.
I call them Frankenfoods.
Oh, that's good. Yes, they are like Frankenfoods, but they have been framed as treats, right? And so I always remember, like, my parents were in our pajamas, ready for bed. You want to go to Ike's, and we're going to go and get hamburgers and French fries and milkshakes. And it's like this special, exciting moment. And so we get all these emotional attachments to things that are not actually beneficial for us. So we're really just pushing towards, I just really want to fall in love with nutritious foods and give them to my body in abundance, meal after meal. Those other foods don't belong. So some people have more tendency toward addiction with foods and drinks than others. Most of the people I work with have a fairly high tendency towards it. So for us, it can be easier, like with alcohol, to just say, I just don't eat or drink those things.
Right.
Like Diet Coke was my first thing I gave up, and it was so painful. I'm going to get in
mom had
trouble
to do
with
that.
Coca-Cola. But it was really, really hard. And like I started imagining, is giving up, I'm going to give up this and this. There could be a list of 10 things that I really should give up. But are they all going to be that hard? And the thing is, when you decide to really eat abundant, nutritious things and then just cut those other things out, like they really just don't have room anymore. It gets easy really fast. It doesn't get harder and harder and harder. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Totally. It's like the concept, what do you gain? What are you gaining not giving up, right?
Right.
It's like there's so much more to gain by eating.
There's so
nutritious
much more to
foods.
gain. Being able to hike in the mountains again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's amazing that you get to do. I mean, oh, I'm so happy for you. Did we do number 4 yet? The fourth?
The fourth is smart quantities. So I talked about that earlier. And like some people are thinking it's going to be scary that you're telling me quantities. Like I'm afraid I will lose my peace with food. The thing I find is they don't. So I ask my clients all the time, are you developing any kind of orthorexia or any kind of attitudes about being scared of foods? And they're like, no, I just feel so calm and at peace because I just eat food now. And I'm not drawn to those non-nutritious things, right? I just don't see
I'm the
them as
same
food.
way.
They don't belong. Yeah.
Wow. That's
It's
So when you
awesome.
say quantities, is it easy to measure? Like for example, I remember something like you eat a chicken breast that's the size of your palm, or is it kind of intuitive like that kind of quantities? Is that what you mean?
I don't use the word intuitive since you brought it up twice, because what our body thinks is going to be best is what is the highest calories, the easiest. So if you ask your stomach, what does it want? I want calories. I want the fastest calories. Remember those potato chips? Remember the hamburger and French fries? I want that, right? And our taste buds want what they're used to. And if they've become used to sugar, right, they want more sugar.
Okay.
And our brain also gives us a lot of reinforcement for the extra dopamine triggering foods and drinks. So I don't call it intuitive. I do think we have a nutritional wisdom in kind of obesogenic environment we live in. We live in kind of a nutritionally deranged society, right? That's how I see it.
Yeah. I mean, if like aliens were to come down and like see what we're eating, they'd be
What are
like,
you guys doing?
or I love this one I got from the Pollen book. He's like, would your great grandmother look at what's in the grocery store now? And they wouldn't even recognize like what we're eating.
I know.
Maybe the vegetables and the meats, but like everything.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So the quantities, we just got really clear how much fruits and vegetables. It's really so much more than people think. So I would say most of my clients who are smart, well-read people end up 4 timesing or 10 timesing their vegetables.
How fun is that though? Yeah.
It's pretty fun. Yeah, it's pretty fun and exciting. And it has really great effects on the body. So one thing I didn't know, so I'm a trained psychologist, right? And I did not study this in psychology school. But people's mood changes in really big ways. So people start saying, I have more energy through the day, but it's like this calm energy and I just cope with things better. You guys probably hear that in your practice with people quitting drinking too.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And with changing their diet too. It's true.
Yes.
Well, a lot of the training that I got with Jolene Park is about replenishing with food and supplements that help nourish your physiology so then you don't have the same cravings for alcohol.
Yes.
So, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And even when I was working with that nutritionist at my gym, when I was just trying to get 5 servings of vegetables, but 5
People have fear of fruit.
Yeah, but just 5 servings with like, between that and the protein, I was not hungry. You're absolutely right. I felt like it was hard work to eat that much.
It is
in some ways.
At first, it's work.
It
now
is.
it's not work. It's like, I can't wait to eat that amount of food. But my clients often are like, I don't feel like eating that amount.
Yeah.
I know, but work up to it because it will change everything.
Wow.
Yeah.
We kind of have been trained to save space, right? I'm saving space for dessert. I'm saving space for a cocktail. Stop that.
Yeah.
Your body
You need more of the fruits and vegetables.
You need the stuff. Yeah.
I have shared with our listeners in the past that I love food prep. And I will go to the farmer's market every single Sunday. And I try to get 20 to 30 different fruits, vegetables, or herbs.
Wow.
But a variety, right? I think variety is key. So I shared with our listeners, like pictures of, it's like,
oh yeah,
so many, right? Because I want to try to get 20 to 30 different. So it's all the different colors of the rainbow. And so that's really,
it sounds fun and exciting, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think intentionally pairing fun and excitement with nutritious food, with nutritious eating, even preparing it, even buying it. Like my clients often brag about that. I love my food prep. It's a meditative time for me. I can see myself taking action for my own health. It's like, it's part of their prayer. It's part of their commitment to themselves. It's really inspiring.
That. I love that. Yeah. And it sounds like there's this sort of philosophy that there's really, besides processed food, if it's whole food, there's no bad food. Like, certainly if it's a whole grain, but there's diets that are no carbs, and then there's diets that are all meat, and there's diets that are all this. But one of the things I heard, on somebody talking on some podcast was like, it's like this one works or this one works, but really it doesn't. But what is happening in both of these is they're cutting out processed food. So it has nothing to do with, it's the carnivore diet or it's the vegetarian diet. It's the fact that both of these diets are cutting out processed foods. That's why it works, not necessarily this or that.
Right. Well, and I want to talk about the concept of what works, because are you looking at this worked in the sense that I lost weight and kept it off for the rest of my life? That I kept it off for the next 2 or 3 years, because that's where this works falls down. Lots of times.
Works.
Right. Okay. If it's not sustainable. The way I think of what works is I've got to be giving my body what it needs to heal my metabolism. And then it will do what it's meant to do, what it knows how to do. And metabolism isn't just this kind of burning fuel system. It's all the processes in our cells that keep us healthy, that let us recuperate from things, that give us the reason I couldn't walk is so much pain and inflammation throughout my system. That just resolved when I ate the right way. And it's because inflammation is one of the 8 metabolic cellular systems, right? So people talk about metabolism like it's this one simple thing, but it's really, how are you staying healthy? How is your body able to recover from problems? How is it able to fight cancer, etc.? Right. So all those processes are in our cells. We have to feed ourselves.
And then that goes back to we're healing the whole body, right? Yes. And we are a whole organism, and it's not, if we got a heart problem, we only work on the heart. It's about nutrition, sleep.
Yes.
Alcohol. We're whole nutrition is really, we can really heal from what we eat. I mean, I believe that 100% that instead of like eating the processed foods, we've had a couple of different guests on that where the subject came up, where it's like, we could eat the processed frankenfoods and then have pills, right, to help with diabetes or whatever. But if we can
to help with appetite.
Yeah.
Right? The shots right now are trying to stamp down the appetite. What if you just give your body a lot of food instead of stamping down your appetite? It's that calorie cutting mentality, the diet mentality has been so detrimental to us.
I'm a little worried about, these new diet. I feel like we'll find out later, but I wonder about all that. I mean, not that that's the topic we're talking about today, but
I know
it's a little.
Well, there may be people who really need it. I don't know, but if you're taking it because you don't want to eat less, that is not the issue. Eat more. Eat more so your body doesn't have excess appetite. The reason we have excess appetite is our food environment is causing us to have these hormone changes that make us not notice we're full and make us extra hungry. Those are hormone systems. We can fix that by giving our body the food it needs.
That's exactly. Did you feel that way, Ginny? That is exactly the way I felt. Like when I had gained like over 100 pounds before I had weight loss surgery, but I literally felt like I was never full. I was always hungry, and I couldn't. I felt like I was going crazy in my mind because I'm like, I just ate a whole meal. Am I hungry? Like I would be like ravenous hungry, and it didn't make.
There's a term for it in the literature. It's called insatiable hunger. And so our hunger hormones are really not functioning well in our current environment on a population level. And it's easy to fix that by giving your body the food it needs. It just makes sense, right?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm getting emotional.
I know you're very emphatic. Well, in this deranged society.
I know. Well, we also had a guest on that was a gut biome kind of expert, and she's saying that it does take kind of a long time, though, like eating the healthy, nutritious foods, but for like a whole year, like systematic, like quite a while of, I don't know how long you work with people in your programs or see weight loss or
program the primary program I created is a 12-month program because it has to become a lifestyle that you're super comfortable with. You can't just keep, at this point, I lost all the weight. Now I'm going to go back to eating the old way. That is what people do. Smart people, right? So I want to help them institute a way of, I just eat this way. This is just how I eat. I'm not looking for a way out of eating this way. I love it. And I want them to be in a community of other people eating this way, because otherwise they're constantly in community with people going, it's your birthday, just have a little. Right. For me, that doesn't work well. Just have one glass of wine. Okay, now I'm fully into cravings. I can't stop. I'm in misery again, right?
Yeah. Does that happen like with cake or, birthday cake or any sugar? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
For me, it does. And for a lot of people, So giving one permission often becomes like it snowballs into a whole bunch more permissions, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's very similarities, I think, sugar and alcohol is what I've noticed is, you give that permission for the birthday cake and then now it's in your brain and you want more sugar. So you're going to start to crave it.
I have a funny example of that, which is I started giving myself permission. I've been doing this for 8 years. It's going great. No worries, right? When I go to the mall, to this one restaurant, I'm going to let myself have cake. And then I would be sitting working and I'd be like, I really want to go to the mall.
Yeah.
Why do I want to go to the mall? I don't need to buy anything. Oh, yeah, that's where I have permission to have cake. So, it started the food, craziness again.
It's the same thing as when you tell yourself you can only drink if you're out, not at home, but if you're out,
it is.
For a special occasion.
Right.
But then all of a sudden Tuesday night is a special occasion and I'm texting my
husband,
meet me at the bar because it's Tuesday night and we're celebrating.
Taco Tuesday. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. It's like that. And the thing is that one thing we're doing on a psychological level is we're overvaluing those foods and drinks that give that big dopamine hit, right? And that's what it's designed to do. But by saying, I'm going to have cheat days or I'm going to have these special occasions where I let myself have that thing that's bad for me, we're maintaining that overvaluing of the things that aren't good for us.
Yeah. Wow.
So what is the number one mistake women over 50 are making to try to lose weight? What do you think that is?
I think it's trying to eat less. I think about one client she's like, I can't eat any less. She's like, I am starving and all I'm doing is continuing to gain weight.
Makes me so
I know.
sad.
It's like, it's terrible. And I was like, I'm going to tell you to eat more. And she's like, that's really scary to me, but it looks like you're getting great results with people. So I'm going to try it, but I'm really scared. And she did. She's eating more than she has eaten in a long, long time. The weight came off quite naturally. She's back to, running marathons. I can't remember what she's doing. But eating more is what got her out of that situation.
Amazing. Yeah. That is amazing.
So, eat less is the number one mistake. It's not really the right approach.
Okay.
And not hating yourself into a better place. Like we talk about that around alcohol. You can't hate yourself to a better place. And, it's like love your thighs. Good. If you've always hated your thighs, which I did.
Yes.
It's like, no, how can you reframe that to my thighs are strong and I can do this many squats with this much weight.
Yes.
They're strong and capable and they get me around town and I can climb rocks and run.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's focus on being strong rather than focus on being skinny.
Yeah. She was always saying, be more, not less. So I love that. So it's
like that.
Eat more, not less. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So looking back, what do you wish you'd known at, say, age 50 about food, metabolism, stress, mindset, all this, eating? What do you wish you would have known?
I think I just felt so in love. Like it's the way I show love to myself is to have the wine and the dessert and all these things. And I felt like I would stop showing love to myself if I didn't give myself those things all the time. And I just realized you're loving yourself into not being able to walk. Like this, maybe you're misunderstanding what loving yourself would actually look like. When you really love yourself, you feed your body so that it gets you through life, right? Maybe that's what self-love is like. I think that misunderstanding of I deserve this and this is how I show love to myself, that's the biggest thing I would change.
Wow, that's beautiful.
It all comes back to love. I feel like when I ask these kinds of questions, it's so funny. Like,
Really?
love is the answer. Wow. Yeah. Is there any other questions you want to ask, Susan, or we can go through the Feel Lit?
I was just curious. Obviously, a good place for people to start is to buy your book. But if they just wanted to start today because they're super inspired, just eat whole foods, right?
Yeah.
So and wheat thins are not whole foods.
No, they
So
are
what would you
processed food.
So what would you say? It has to like be grow in the ground and come off a tree or off a bush or be run around with 4 legs, or like how do you determine a whole food really, like to start with?
Yeah. Well, one of the things that my clients do is that shopping around the outside in the grocery store, you go to the produce aisles, you go to the meat and those aisles, if you're a plant-based person, you're going and finding the beans and so just basically anything that's bagged or boxed that has flour, sugar, all those things on the side. It doesn't have to have additional additives to be a problem, flavorings and gums and things like that, but that adds more problems to it. But just really avoid the things that have been broken down into dust, or like if you're eating vegetables and fruit, eat them, don't drink them. That's processed.
I like that too.
It.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, no juice. Eat, don't drink. I wasn't a big juice person, but my husband was.
I'm a big label reader, and if I don't know what it is, I literally put it back on the shelf. Like it has to be very few ingredients and like tomatoes, celery, onion, like actual things that I know what they are.
Right.
Not all the dextrose.
I know.
I just go, no,
Right.
I don't know what that is.
So dairy is processed? No cheese, no dairy?
No, dairy's okay.
Good.
It just really depends on the person. So a lot of people are sensitive to dairy. Dairy is something I can eat moderately. Like if I overdo it, I start getting hot flashes.
Interesting. Wow.
So
What about
lactose,
coffee?
I think. Yeah,
I drink a lot of coffee.
Okay. Oh, yay. Oh, my God. I'm so happy. I can keep coffee.
Cheers.
Like, see people. I'm afraid to ask
am
questions because if I ask the wrong question, people are like, no, I can't have that. Forget it. So it's like, no, go in with an open mind, because isn't it just about get started, eat, like you said, if you can get to 75% whole foods, keep working at it. Just like what we do with alcohol. It's like keep,
Yeah. Eat more vegetables would be one of the first things.
And cook at home. Cook at home.
And cook at home is a very good piece of advice. I was eating out all the time. I think it was that permission thing. Well, they got cake there. They got wine there. They got, it's like, Ginny, you really can't afford to eat out every day of your life, sometimes twice a day.
Yeah, and the meals are often enough for 2 people. I mean, they're huge portions. My ex-husband was a chef, and I know how much like fat, like he just put so much extra salt, sugar, things in restaurant food because they want it to taste better.
And they put cheap thing. They're giving you the cheap stuff, right? A big pile of pasta with spaghetti sauce. Cheap.
Yeah. So what a great question, Susan, was, how can you get started? But please buy Ginny's.
I'm getting it. I'm getting it.
Hey, let me know what you think.
Yeah, I will. Yeah.
Can I don't know if you're going to have show notes where you can share the best place to get it. You can get it on Amazon.
Okay.
But you're going to get it for only $4.99 from me on my website, slenderforgood.com.
I'm going to send this to some people too that I know of that are desirous of this kind of change in their life. And
it's getting really great reviews. People are saying this makes so much dang sense.
Oh, I'm so excited for you. And we will put all your references and links in the show notes, of course.
Thank you.
But we're at the point of our podcast. So we asked all of our guests, what do you do to feel lit alcohol-free, Ginny? What do you do?
I'm feeling guilty because I just wrote a book, and it means I didn't do very much in terms of going out and doing the fun things. But one of the things I like to do, I live in Oaxaca, Mexico, and I love to go to the pool with girlfriends and sit there and swim and then eat and then talk. And it's just a beautiful environment with, bird song and all those things. So I think the ultimate answer is being out in nature. That's why not being able to hike anymore was heartbreaking to me. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Just being out in nature, listening to the birds.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
So many. Yes. That's what I did this morning. First thing I do every morning is I let my dog out, to do his business. But I just sit there and I listen. I'm out in a vineyard where there's trees and birds, and it's just like a whole orchestra. It's
yes.
So I bet it's even more in Mexico.
I think it is.
Yeah.
I think it's even more. There's some birds here that I'm like, I just love you guys. I don't know what you are, but your song is really cool.
Yeah, that's so cool that you live in Mexico. How did you end up down there? Or did you just say, this is where I want to live?
Long story. Yeah. But it was turning 60 and just ready for a shift and a change. And it's one of the great things is people are just really resourceful here. They're not sitting around expecting the world to give them what, they're kind of, there's pothole, let's all fix it. I don't know. And it's kind of a slower pace and more of a sense of community. I'm living in kind of a small pueblo again. So yeah. It helps me slow down. I'm not good at slowing down.
You just wrote a book.
I want to just say I'm so proud of you and congratulations on your book. And we are going to support your book and your program. And you're doing really good.
I love your podcast. You guys just have such a great energy.
Thank you. Well, thank you for listening, everyone. And we will post Ginny's information in the show notes. So join our Facebook community, or if you want to see our faces, go watch us on YouTube. And thank you so much for listening. Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thanks so much for listening to the Sober and Lit podcast.
If you enjoyed this episode, we would love it if you would subscribe, rate, and review. It really helps get the word out.
And remember, do something today to help you feel lit.
See you next week.